We don't ask for feature bios. Instead, we ask them questions. So we asked Paulie, what is your favorite poem right now? Not an Elegy for Mike Brown by Dennis Smith. Yes. If you haven't read or watched that poem, that's your homework.
Do that shit.
Why are you a poet? I can't afford a therapist. What advice would you give someone attempting to write their first poem? Get out all the words possible first, then go in and start carving out the fat. What is your favorite word? Were. But used in a sentence, that were interesting. That weren't fun. Least favorite word, no. Friends, poets, community members, please give a round of applause for our featured poet, Paulie Lipman.
I asked specifically for this song when I heard it earlier. I was like, I don't know, I hate the rest of their album, but this song just fucking riled up as shit. And unfortunately, I'm not going to start with a big and raucous poem, but I'm going to start with a serious poem. I'm sorry for this, but sometimes it has to be done. Yeah, this poem starts with a dedication. This poem is dedicated to Billy Corgan, whose music I love, but he has a horrible fucking book of poetry. This is dedicated to Jewel and her horrible fucking book of poetry. This is dedicated to David Hasselhoff's singing career and the fact that Snooki is now a 2-time New York best-selling author. Fame! Fame changes everything. If you're a musician, you can practice umpteen bone-bent hours, fingers bleeding, shouting ivory keys to the third rail, and never be heard. But if you're a famous anything else, they'll give you the ear of the world. If you're a singer, they'll grant you a book deal, an actor, an art show, a dancer, a photo exhibit. All these opportunities bestowed for your other accomplishments. A whim, perchance to fucking dabble. They'll call you Renaissance. And you'll fucking believe it, too. For every hobby they are indulged, there are those of us who wrap ourselves in the plainest of bricks and the most inexquisite iron bars, banging our life-giving tin crowns against them, praying that anyone will find the din transcendent and the sparks they shed beautiful. We will fight you for those ears. Those are our walls and eyes. Give us back the bandwidth and pages. We are taking back the dance hall. Yes. Boom! For real. Thank you. The poem is called Radiant Children. While I was writing it, it was like a new phase in my writing. Like, a lot of the times I'd be writing and like random shit would go into my head and I'm like, that doesn't belong in this poem. And then this poem was like, maybe it does. So Jean-Michel Basquiat kept coming into my head during this poem. So it's called Radiant Children, as he was often referred to as the Radiant Child. And Boom for Real was his most famous piece of Samo graffiti. So yeah, long-winded explanation for no other reason. Okay, cool. Set list. I need a set list, otherwise I just like fucking ramble and it's bad. For you. It's so weird coming here and realizing I know someone here already from Colorado. So I had this poem about Colorado. She's like, I only caught half of it last night. You must do it tomorrow. I'm like, okay. Yeah, this poem, I was competing at the Individual World Poetry Slam this year in Phoenix, Arizona. And a fellow poet of mine was like, that I was competing with, he's like, some poets, you know, like metaphorically, like yell at people to get their attention, and some like slap them in the face with poetry. You keep punching them in the face. I'm like, I can fucking deal with that. Colorado does not hold the patent on tragedy, but we understand its machinery. The rest of y'all can bitch about the casting of Ben Affleck as Batman. But Batman means something different to us in Aurora. You can debate about bullying, but we have already seen one version of the end game. It is a first person shooter. Y'all can watch Kobe get off a jumper, but we have seen him foul, get off, then get off for it. Ours is a place still recoiling from a time when the Klan used to march so deep down Broadway you'd think the white tide was in, and everybody leapt in for a baptism. We are haunted and see the same phantoms behind the eyes of Boston, Sandy Hook, and Oklahoma City, all of us praying for exorcism and that one day the spirits will finally stop howling. Thank you. Some people take, poetry from this angle, the classics. Like I'm more like Jim Carroll, and like Lou Reed, and just mean and nasty, even though I don't drink anymore. But all right, what is this next one? Oh, I do fucks with form poetry sometimes. Yeah. I have a pantoum. It's the most fun form to say too. Pantoum. And weirdly enough, I'm weirdly enough in the right region to do it. Where is it? I have all these bookmarks. Okay. Pantoum for Kurt Cobain. Here we are now. Entertain us. Life was always going to punch him in the throat. It was his face. You just knew. His gut reaction was always bile. Life was always going to punch him in the throat. You can't wear your stomach on your face and expect any different. His gut reaction was always bile. Performance anxiety. We always kept him on stage. You can't wear your stomach on your face and expect any different. So you tried to hide them both behind family and fog. Performance anxiety. We always kept him on stage. The wings give us spoon and shotgun shadow. So you tried to hide both behind family and fog. Southpaws always hit from the blind side. The wings give a spoon and shotgun shadow. Singer, actor, boxer, all fall down. Southpaws always hit from the blind spot. Francis Farmer role model. Singer, actor, boxer, all fall down. All three die in dissonance. Francis Farmer role model. Husband, father, provider, all three die in dissonance. Heroin, static. Husband, father, provider, all stayed backstage. Heroin static leapt from his throat, bringing the curtains down. All stayed backstage. Too few concerned with the feedback that leapt from his throat, bringing the curtain down. A tragic matinee. Too few concerned with the feedback that bleeds all eyes into anthem. Everyone, a tragic matinee. Damn the curtain ropes. Bleeds all eyes into anthem. Swelling arms up into religion. Damn the curtain ropes stolen for tie-off. Swelling arms up into religion. Sunken face photographs plagiarized and stolen for tie-offs. We are a heart-shaped audience. Sunken face photographs plagiarized, and it was his face. You just knew. We are a heart-shaped audience. Here we are now. Entertain us. Form poetry can be fun. It's awesome. I like the repetition in the pantoum. It's back to the punch in the face. It's just like, oh, look, I'm going to jab you. Nope! Right in the face. Quick moment of crass commercialism, and then back to the poetry. As you can see, I've been reading from these books right here. One is called Mourn the Bell Tollers Union, and it's got a really happy cover of Quasimodo hanging off the tower. When trying to find images to use, I put in Quasimodo into Google and forgot there's a cartoon. Fuck Disney, yet again. Fuck your frozen Nazi corpse, Walt. Sorry, I got a bit of a thing with him. All right, so, Mourn the Bell Tollers Union. It's got a lot of poems in it. It's $10. This one, $10? Shut up and take my money. All right. The other one is called Year of the Leopard. This came from a Marty McConnell workshop when she came through Denver. She's like, say your name and what animal you want 2015 to be. I'm like, damn, leopard. She's like, why? I'm like, I have no fucking idea, but I want it to be a leopard. So, hence the title of the book. This one is $10. This one is $5.
Only $5?
Yeah, there's like a whole long, in Denver, there's like a whole long, there's like, only $5? That's damn near free. You can't afford not to buy it. Shut up and take my money. All right, so this is $5. Now, if you buy them both, they are the same price, but you give me your email when you buy both, and then I send you download codes for 3 albums worth of poetry and music that I've produced. Yeah. So you get like 60 tracks and 2 books for $15. Wow. That's a lot of shit. So please, this is how I eat. So I like that. I like the eating. And then the breathing that continues to happen, therefore. I'm a hypoglycemic too. Hi, camera. I'm just going to do this. All right, cool. So, please, buy books and stuff. All right. Ooh, this one's a cheery one. This one's cheery. I get angry sometimes. I blame it on my pants. I call them my angry pants. They're cute, though, because you can curtsy in them. Yeah. This is called American Alchemy. What magic and alchemy share is blood. Magic, once thought to pulse through everything, has been reduced to Michael Bay and Harry Potter illusion. Alchemy, the ability to turn lead into gold, base elements into noble, despite being ridiculed and condemned, is still practiced today, but its modern disciples have replaced the blood of animals with those they treat like animals. Their philosopher's stone is drowned in black blood. Every element is shot through with it. The steel barbed wire, the iron chains, the lead bullets that can transform cradles into graveyards. This black blood has been deemed base and worthy only for the ground which frost blossoms a hate garden. Their lungs' market value is stolen breath. Their brains, once deemed too small to contribute, now house gray matter perfect for growing nightsticks back into lynching trees. The wizards, these grand wizards of the new American alchemy, have conjured the greatest illusion that all this is justified. Our ears are now their philosopher's stone, transmuting their base actions into noble. Modern English is magic. Etymology is alchemy. There is blood at the root of our words. Black, brown, Asian, Indian blood that the charlatans are trying to pass off as their own. Murder is now probable cause, self-defense, legitimate fear, irrefutable evidence transmogrified into reasonable doubt, standing ground that was never theirs to begin with, all the while denying that the demons they fear are truly within themselves. This is the very definition of white magic. Our history's pages are nothing but blood, bound by lead, iron, and steel. A spell has been cast to bleach that crimson into undyed laughing ink, pixels into static, but spells can be broken. Smoke can be seen through and mirrors shattered. Honor that blood. Conjure the names within it. Walk the streets it is paved with. Call out things as you see them. Do not bend to their misdirection. Shout down the new alchemy. This is the only way any of us will ever be noble. Thank you. I mentioned Dinesh, well, they mentioned Dinesh Smith's poem earlier. He put out a call to white poets. It's like, you can talk about things other than just yourselves and, self-loathing and whatnot, and call out the shit that's going on in our world. So I take that seriously. This, however, is about me. This is going from angry to sad. Sad face. Torment fingers. This is called Sometimes the Light at the End of the Tunnel is a Really Big Fucking Train. Woke up with my mouth on the third rail again. A minute's more sleep and the train would have curb-stomped me into oblivion. My scattered teeth, a star show for the tunnel rats. We are all 1 second and 1 centimeter away from being art. Bathroom graffiti has not changed, but the work ethic is now stronger, as it takes far more effort to drunkenly scrawl an email than a phone number. Being an artist does not make you good. People's opinions of my work often matter more than their opinion of me. I am happy and resentful of my friends' successes. I haven't showered or brushed my teeth in 4 days. My appearance is tougher than I am. What my idols accomplish before their too quick deaths makes me feel inadequate. I've written an ode to Corey Haim, unironically. One of my biggest fears is death. An even bigger one is dying irrelevant. I am a snob when I have no right to be. I judge people who don't read. Even though I am a recovering junkie, I have little tolerance for current ones. I love and help those who deserve it. Don't ask me how I determine that. Poverty is not noble. Neither am I. My only sweatshirt is shredding at the sleeves. I'm sure there's a metaphor in there somewhere. I am horrible to love. My definition of casual is different from yours and will eventually gut us both back into art. I'd rather be right than sorry. I cross my fingers passing cemeteries. I am fine just holding hands. Thank you. Torment is, you see, there's jazz hands, there's spirit fingers, and there's torment fingers. The goth people know this very well. You hear that one Bauhaus song, Torment. All right, that actually segues really well. Sweet serendipity. I've had the devil in me since I was 12 years old. I heard the first 3 notes of Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath on their first album, Black Sabbath. C sharp and 2 octaves of G form the tritone known as Diabolus in Musica, the devil in music. It scared the hell right into me. Its sheer dissonance cast out 6 years of Hebrew school and replaced the warm glow of Hashem with this morbid electricity, bleak, God-forsaken, and wondrous. The fact that art could frighten you. If this feeling was evil, then fuck it. Hail Satan. Glory be to Lucifer. All praises to Legba and Beelzebub. Heavy metal led to Lovecraft. Lovecraft to Rimbaud. Rimbaud to Nietzsche. Crowley, Bosch, Desaad, Galileo. I ran to these rejects and reveled in those condemned by all of God's people. They're mere ideas, an affront to the Lord. I fed off the hypocrisy of the supposedly holy, doing all the damning, so akin to my people during the Inquisition, condemned to death for obeying the wrong God. If my God was wrong, then all the easier to reject it. Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan, said point blank that the devil was a myth, and that his Satan was merely the rejection of mass piety in favor of the individual will. If the devil was real, and presented with even half the atrocities attributed to them, it would say, you humans did all that to yourselves. Evil is your creation. You don't need me. Devotion and blasphemy both make for blind heat ignition. If you run all one and none of the other, it will devour the will and the individual along with it. But we are forged out of both. Their counterbalance is the foundation for human existence. I have come back to a God, if not the one of my family's faith, then one found in the warm beauty push of all around me. I still ride out with the devil, glorifying my creation among everyone else's. Diabolus ipse un Deo. Both the devil and God live in me. God and the devil both make beautiful music. Thank you. That school of thought was not popular with my rabbi, nor at Hebrew school. I got in trouble in Hebrew school a lot. Like one year, we were like, write a paper about a Jew in history you admire. So everyone's writing about Simon Wiesenthal and Golda Meir. I wrote a paper about Meyer Lansky. Meyer Lansky was like the Jewish mobster. He had Lucky Luciano form the commission and organized crime, and I wrote about him, and they're like, that's a Jew you admire? He's one of like the 8 gangsters that get out of the game by dying of old age. There are 2 retirement communities in Miami Beach named after him. Hell yeah. And then the next year I wrote one about, Bugsy Siegel, who invented Las Vegas. He did not get out of the game by dying of old age. He ripped the mob off and they gunned him down in his own home. All right, so, cheery. All right, let's see. I'm sorry, I go off on this. Oh, wait, that actually so works. Going into this poem. You haven't guessed by now, I'm what I call an inobservant Jew. See, there's Orthodox, there's conservative, there's Reformed, and then there's inobservant. Like, it's what they call a cafeteria or a cafeteria Catholic. You know, the big holidays. You know, Passover, Hanukkah, yeah. Oh, if you're ever in a mood for a weird poem about Hanukkah, look up Eric Sirota out of Chicago. He has one from the perspective of Hanukkah and gives a lot of truth that a lot of people are like, really? He's like, I'm not even in the Bible. He's not. Hanukkah is not. This is called a Jew's word of warning. Kike is the only Jewish slur that I cannot swallow. Sheeny, he, Bahimi, even matzah gobbler. For these, my throat offers up a chuckle, closes around their soft letters, and grants them safe passage to my gut, which will cross them back to the silly, simple shit that they really are. Kike. It's the syllables. It's the syllable. It's short, harsh bark. The ghost of German shepherds still chasing my relatives through the night. It's the letters, 2 Ks, their lower legs locked mid-goose step, and an arm thrown up in praise of Zyklon B, fire, bayonet, fist, and everything used to sever us from this life and hopefully deprive us of the next. This is what catches in my teeth, spares my stomach from puncture, and prevents this word from killing me inside out, the secret wish of all those who choose to say it. I wonder if the Ku Klux Klan came to this revelation 55 years before Hitler and chose their name to gut any and all they chose to spit it at. I pray that these letters rip razor wire the gullets of all those who choose to summon them, be they praise a swastika or a burning cross. We should not be the only ones who are left impaled on them. I know I should pray for wisdom and peace and leave judgment to a just and benevolent God. But being forced to bathe in the ashes of so many of us has clouded my eyes to any promise of heaven. Hashem, I beg you to forgive me. Those who see Jews as prey, I bade you to fear us. We have no hell, but have no problem condemning you to yours. Angry pants. And the way we counter angry pants is curtsy. All right. This is definitely a weird kid. I went to this one spot in Denver I usually go to write, and I had the specific poem in mind. I'm going to work on this poem, and it wasn't going anywhere. And I was talking to a kid outside about the ciphers of the BET Awards. And then I'm like, that'd be interesting. What if the MCs in the cipher were misappropriated symbols? And what would that sound like? So you get this. Recently, in an undisclosed location, an underground cipher was held. In attendance were some of the most misappropriated symbols of all time, not long after this bootleg was leaked. The Om speaks. The fuck, bro? When millions of Hindus want to return to calm, they place me in their throats and expel the original wisdom back into existence. I am sacred. So take me off your moleskins, your white-owned yoga studios, and the slave-wage t-shirts you sport in hopes of deceiving Eastern studies majors into bowing before your second chakra. Grant me my serenity. Take my name out your mouth and go back to your weak-ass Kerouac brand of Buddhism. Keep calm. Gets buck wild. I am a creature of propaganda. World War II, Britain's information ministry manufactured me soulless and solely to keep citizens in their homes oblivious amidst the week-long blitzkriegs. I have no blood, no backbone or anima, so I can't understand why Frankenstein reincarnation is crudely stitched meme fodder. I served well my purpose, so please allow me my tiny bit of death-granted dignity and spare me this post-ironic free trade type of necrophilia. Che Guevara shoots back. My face has never known the calm of a slow-blown cotton field. so its final resting place on the quick-stitch fibers of so many well-meaning t-shirts smacks me as blasphemous. Mi hermano's photograph captured the last instant I was ever Ernesto. Every second after Che, Enigma, Deity, I am banner, war cry, gun clap, everything in between, farmer, poet, rebel, hangman, savior for some, monster to many, many, many. I will cop to all these, but never will I be merely fashion. Christ gets down. Once and for last, I'm gonna set this shit straight. The only reason I haven't come back is your choice of symbol. The cross, be it simple wood or blood diamond-drenched platinum. The murdered want to be remembered for their lives and not the weapons that took them. My greatest fear is if I ever deigned to walk among you again, you would put me right back up on it. Force my lessons in between padded walls and prostrate me on your medications. This sigil has justified and flown high over too many battlefields of forgiveness forgotten. Parables lost to judgment. If you cast stones in my role, my sacrifice meant nothing. Hang that shit round your neck. The aftermath. And with that, all four MCs dropped their mics to the floor and vanished in the following feedback. The audience left dazed, ears ringing, but they couldn't help but notice a slightly higher lift to their steps. If you didn't know, now you know. Now, go run and tell that. Thank you. All right, I got one more for you.
Yeah.
Aw, I might squeeze in another if you like. I have a backup poem, but this poem was recently featured by or put up by the good people at Button Poetry from when I did it at iWebs in Phoenix. I didn't do very well my first night. I wound up with a rank of 17, which means you ain't going to finals, no how. So I went into the second night like, fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want, so. The title of this is Ghetto Primer for White Folks. Ghetto, despite the dictionary, means forced confinement and deprived the means of escape. In Hebrew school, I learned its original definition was living area for Jews in Europe after the diaspora. I'll forget the poem. Ghettos housed Jews. No, wait. Houses are for humans. Jews were kennelled. You kennel a pack of dogs. See Warsaw. See reservation. See internment. Ghetto. Instilled American speech. 1. Noun. Area containing certain ethnic groups defined by institutionalized poverty. See Brownsville. See Spanish Harlem. See Bronx River. See 5th Ward. See 9th Ward. Ward. Oxford English. 2. Noun. Where a number of patients often requiring similar treatment are accommodated. Oh. See Tuskegee. See Auschwitz. See Pine Ridge. See also Little Italy. Little Belfast. Little Saigon, little. Merriam-Webster, 3. Adjective, small in importance or meaning. Less, lesser than. Negligible, nominal, trifle, ghetto. Urban Dictionary. 4. Adjective, improvised, often featuring cheap or substandard components. Chad, Becky, Miley. When you utter, that's so ghetto, ghetto fabulous, ghettofication, ghetto-tastic, the cold thesaurus in your split tongue is actually hissing profiled, prison, stop and frisk, life, sentence, hands up don't mean shit, be grateful for, go back to, should have never let you out of, try and escape with what little we have allowed you to have, funeral, home, without definition words can have no conviction. Know the meaning of ghetto when you say it, and of the dead bodies that fall out of your mouth when you open it.